Hi everyone, it's Mary with Mary's Stampin' Cafe. Thanks for stopping in at my Stampin' Saturday uploaded and recorded video. You are going to be so excited about this video. I am on page 127 of the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog, and it's all about specialty paper. Now, we always, every time a catalog comes out, we jump right to the beautifully designed Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper. And we just love all those gorgeous images and beautiful florals and gingham and all of those things. We love those. And you might have participated in a Designer Series paper share with me. I am doing another Designer Series paper share for the September to December 2023 mini catalog that's coming out in September. I'll have a link below. Definitely check it out for that paper share. You'll have an opportunity to get a variety and sampling of all the new Designer Series paper in that mini catalog, and there are some nice ones. Anyhow, today is about the specialty papers. So on page 127, you see that there are all sorts of choices, and they've laid out nice samples for you to see what they are. But really, to be honest, the only thing that I can really tell is number 6. And number 6 is the More Dazzle 6x6 specialty paper. You can really see that. You can see all that razzle dazzle on that. But when it comes to some of the others, I see a little holograph right there, but I don't see any textures. I can't quite make out what is happening with those papers. We have rose gold, number 4, and then we have 5, which is textured shimmer paper, and then there's this white center paper, number 2, white center paper. What does that even mean, white center? Well, that's what I'm going to share today. I wanted to really pay homage and give this page here the much accolades it deserves, because these are fabulous, fabulous papers. So let me set that aside and give me a like. Be sure you're subscribing. So here is an example of some of these specialty papers, and I'll just go ahead and show you a little bit about them more up close so you can see. This is the 2022-24 textured cardstock. And then here, I think you can see the texture that's in those. And I don't know if you can hear. It's so interesting to me. It almost feels like a vinyl. I think that is a really cool texture. So these are the 2022-24 in colors. We have our Tahitian Tide, our Orchid Opulence, Starry Sky, Parakeet Party, and Sweet Sorbet. That Sweet Sorbet, is one of my favorites. So it's very, very fun. I love that texture that it has. And these do come in 12 by 12. I just have a 6 by 6 sampler. So that is the textured. And the 2022-24 in colors are so bright and beautiful. Oh, so nice, these colors. That Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis, perfect for the holidays. This is our 23-25 in color luster paper. It is a 12 by 12 again, and now you might be able to see just the luster. You see that kind of glowing color. These colors are more subdued than our 22-24, more earthy in tones, but you can see how it kind of shimmers a little bit. Luster. And so it's on both sides. You can see that. Our Wild Wheat and Pebbled Path, Boho Blue. Our Copper Clay and Moody Mauve. So that is the luster. I think the Wild Wheat luster will be beautiful for some fall and holiday cards, having that bit of luster in there. Now we have our soft shimmer paper. Now this is a 12 by 12 soft shimmer. It has a couple of the new returning colors. It has our Bubble Bath and Berry Burst. It has Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. How pretty. Now that is glimmer paper, right? It's soft shimmer. And boy, it does shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. It's really, really nice too. This, again, beautiful for some holiday projects for sure. These are pieces from a paper share that I did for the annual catalog, so you can see how packages are put together. This is the holographic trio, 12 by 12. This paper kind of coordinated with the beautiful astronomy. No, astronomy, yes. the space person, the astronaut, and all of that. But check out that holographics. Now, what you need to know is the back side is plain. It's not a two-sided thing. That is the same with the soft shimmer. Soft shimmer is also a white background. The others are all two-sided. So when you do a paper share with me, you generally get 2 pieces of each design. You get a quarter package of all of the papers, the designer's papers, the specialty papers. You get a quarter package, so that's 2 each of all of the designs. And then you get a free product. Now, I want to share with you that I am focusing on the white center paper. Now, white center paper simply means that the Stampin' Up! Colors on their cardstock go all the way through. So if I took this piece of Berry Burst and I tore it, I will just see Berry Burst. There is no white showing. Now, you may get some cardstocks from other places like Joann's or Michael's or any craft store, and you might get some cardstocks, and if you tear like this, you'll see white. It's because when Stampin' Up! Creates their cardstocks, that dye color goes all the way through the paper. It's just a very high quality. It's saturated all the way through. Okay? White center paper, and I'll just use this for an example. This is one of the white center papers. When I tear it, you can see the white. What that means is Stampin' Up! Has done layers of fibers of paper and the paper is on top of color and on the bottom, and they press it together and the white is in between. So that's what white center paper is called. Now, this is a thin paper. It is not a cardstock, and that's something to be aware of. So what I did is I brought out some embossing folders, and I have some cards to share with you today, and then a card I'm going to make today. So I'm using the Whimsical Woodlands retired embossing folder. I have the Merry Melody embossing folder, the Exposed Brick embossing folder, the beautiful big dots here, and this one here. And I don't have the names of either of these. This one I believe was part of the Basics embossing folders that is on the online exclusives. This one may also have been. I don't know. No. This one is an online exclusive folder. This is part of the Basics, where it was a set of 3. Now, I chose these because they have some great details. Different layers of details. So I took my embossing folders and I went ahead and I embossed them using the pages of the 3 of the white center paper, and you can see that I've got some great dimension on all of these. Ran them through. Now you can see the colors that are in that package. Berry Burst, Parakeet Party, Fresh Freesia, and Tahitian Tide. And there's also a Night of Navy piece, but you'll see my project with that. I don't have the Night of Navy piece to share with you because I used it all up. Okay, now I want to show you what happens with this white center paper when you simply take a sanding brush and you sand over the top. Take a look at the effect that I got. Here it is just through the embossing folder, and now here it is when I've distressed it. Look at the difference and how cool that is. So let me show you just easily how that happened. So I'll set that one aside. I just have this sanding block. You can get these really at any craft store. You could even go into your hardware stores and just get a very fine, not a big, thick sanding thing, just a nice light one. And all I did was start scraping, excuse the scraping sound, and look at how that is just starting to come out. You'll see that you'll start getting a bit of that powder. What that is that's the layer of the colored cardstock being sanded away. You can go up and down, you can go straight across, you can drag and get more definition of the white center coming out. Now this is a 6x6 piece, so of course if I'm using it on a project, I will then cut it down for what I want. But how fun is that? Some of it gets much more white coming through the higher that the embossed piece is. And there we go. We've got this beautifully distressed piece of the white center paper. Now again, this is a thinner paper, so I'll give you a tip. When it comes to adhering any of this to your projects after you've done your embossing, you'll want to use some multi-purpose liquid glue. Do not use your Stampin' Seal. When you go to use your Stampin' Seal, it's going to tear this paper because this paper is a bit delicate. It's not as thick as cardstock, and Stampin' Seal is very strong. Okay? So let's take a look at our trees and what happens when we do our trees. I love the whimsical tree embossing folder. It's a great one that Stampin' Up! Had. This one takes a little bit longer to start getting. Let me put it on a side that's not the blue. I don't want to get any of that off. This one you have to work a little bit harder to get it going. For some reason, that parakeet party, here it comes. The parakeet party likes to hold the color. Now, it's interesting because this whimsical tree die has lots of layers. So you're not going to get all of the trees to come popping out. If you push that hard, you're going to lose some of your dimension. So we just do our scraping. And again, sorry about the scraping noise. And it's interesting because you can really see this one here is really coming out. And the more that you scrape, the more that you find what works for you, the more that it comes out. So we'll just stop there so you can really see how those trees are coming out and what a great effect that has. All right, so there you go. That's basically how we get that going. I'll take this one right here and just show you because this one works really great. I am pushing down quite a bit here to start getting those layers to, and then you can see there how that's starting to come out. So much fun. Well, are you ready to see some projects? I have done some projects with the white center paper after I've gone ahead, all this powder. You will get a lot of powder, just saying. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of projects. This is the first one that I did. I'm utilizing the So Very Merry stamp set. That's an online exclusive with the stained glass. What I did on this one is I embossed the angel circle in white, and then I used my Stampin' Blends to color the angel. Used the Night of Navy around the back side here, and then used a 2 1/4 circle punch and then the new 2 3/8 punch that goes with the circle sayings stamp set, and layered that. And then you can see the Night of Navy white center paper, that beautiful sheet music that I went ahead and I sanded, and look at those music notes and how they pop out like that. That's just by sanding a bit. And this particular one with the Night of Navy, that white center came right away. It really was easy on that one. So then I used the Joy from the Brightest Glow stamp set. Used some of the beautiful Pool Party ribbon. It's really interesting because the Stampin' Blends that I did here, it was nice to pull that in. And then some of the adhesive back Milky Dots. And I used another little piece on the inside, Wishing You a Season of Hope and Light, also from Brightest Glow. And I love that embossing white. I just think it gave a really cool effect. And so she's very pretty there. And boy, that white center sanding, oh, just beautiful on this card. So that was that one. And then I used the whimsical tree, and I used the shimmer, let's see, the soft shimmer paper, and I used the pretty peacock part, so you can see that shimmer in there. So I have a layer of that, and then the pretty peacock sanded trees. Look at how great that is. This gives me such a retro feel. Then I went ahead and I used gold embossing powder to emboss the Santa circle. Used my pretty peacock, and I used berry burst and fresh freesia. I used an ivory blends, and again using the, I think this was lemon lolly. No, it could have been lemon lolly. Yep. But see how great those trees just stand out from the sanding and the white center. And then, oh, that soft shimmer paper just really goes. And this ribbon here, this is from the Duo Ribbon Pack Silver and Gold online exclusive. So online exclusive, online exclusive. But beautiful, beautiful specialty papers on that one. Just love it. And then, to get out of our Christmas season, we're not quite ready for that. I don't know if you are, but I'm not. I went ahead, and for the Berry Burst Hatching one, you can see it all distressed there. How pretty is that? So you have, you know, you have your standard embossed piece, and that would be nice, right? But look at the difference. I have just the embossed. It's dark, right? It's Berry Burst. It's very rich in color. But then, boy, when you use that white center paper and you go ahead and sand it, look at that beautiful texture you're getting. So fun. So I used the Happy Birthday from the Biggest Wishes stamp set, the circle sayings. I stamped and cut out the cupcake. I used a little Winka Stella on there. Then I used some of our retired polka dot. Oh, I love this ribbon. This is one of my favorite ribbons because you do a bow with it, but it goes flat. It doesn't take up a lot of room on your card, and you kind of can see through it, so it's not so over there. I love the little stamp with the little background hatching there. So happy birthday. There's no one like you. So fun. But look at that white center paper. How beautiful is that? So there are 3 ideas that you can do with your embossing folders. 3D embossing folders work best because they have most of that raised parts that you can sand. So beautiful. So there's my angel. There's Santa, a whimsy Santa. And then we have the fun happy birthday. Look at all that texture. Now let's talk about creating a card. So you saw these big polka dots, right? They are so fun. Now I need you to see how awesome this is and how quickly these dots turn white. That fresh freezer cardstock is being pulled right away, and I have such fun, cool looking white polka dots now. So fun. It is just striking, and I think fresh freesia is quite a fluorescent kind of color. I don't know how you feel about that, but when I use this fresh freesia on projects, it's so fluorescent. Oh, so are my nails today. So I hope you're enjoying me sharing these different specialty papers. So I have a card today that is 5.5 by 8.5 of thick, basic white cardstock. I am also using one of my favorite bundles. It is the Darling Details bundle. I love this bundle so much. I love fun flowers, just flirty fun flowers. I'm not so much of a formal flower person, but this stamp set and die set is fabulous. You get some different floral frames and border. You have some different building dies, which is so fun for accents. And then you have all of the outline dies for the images that you stamp. So really fun. So we're using that. Now I've also have a piece of Berry Burst cardstock that I cut at 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to go ahead and put that down. fun summery colors with the berry burst, but also a great color for holidays. So go ahead and put that down. Then here is that beautiful white center paper sanded. Oh, looks so good. I might even sand it a little more. I want the white to be even brighter. Oh, that looks so good. So good. All right. Now remember, I said when you put this paper down, you do not want to use your Stampin' Seal. This paper is too delicate, and especially after you've embossed it, you've broken a lot of the fibers. And then when you've sanded through and taken off some of the top layer, it's even thinner. Now I have this layer cut at 3 3/4 by 5, so it layers perfectly there. Now this card, what I want to tell you is I've already done a bunch of die cutting, stamping, die cutting, all of my fun florals. I have a couple of the big flowers. I stamped Berry Burst and Fresh Freesia. I stamped Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lolly. And this was just with the Parakeet Party. I just stamped off the first stamp and then the second stamp, second step stamp, full strength. Now this fun piece, I went ahead and I die cut that with the soft shimmer paper, so it's glittery and shimmery. That's fun. I also used some adhesive sheet on my more delicate dies, but all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start building my focal point for my card. And all you're basically doing is putting down flowers how you think you might like to have them. It's fun to kind of take these yellow ones and just tuck them like so. We'll bring in another leaf over here. I just kind of take this leaf and do that with it. I think that looks terrific. And then maybe I might just have another yellow tucking up under there like so. That's a lot of fun. Then what I can do, I can see about if I want to take any of these other little flowers and leaves and put them in. I think that would be great. I actually think if I had another one of those, and I think I do. I have another one that I already took the adhesive sheet off. I mean, that one could come in here, over in here, to give kind of that balanced look. I love it. So I'm just taking it all away. There you go. Now, there's another thing. You can lay everything down that you have and use a press and seal kitchen product if you would like. I'm okay not doing that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my very first one and I'm going to raise it up with dimensionals. Now I'm not going to use a lot of dimensional on here, just a couple, because I want to be able to tuck things underneath this flower. And I basically just say to myself, this is where my first flower is, and everything else is going to work around it. So I'm using liquid glue here. Because we have those big polka dots, Stampin' Seal's not going to hold things down really well. But when you use liquid glue, that liquid spreads and it's going to allow to hold it down better. So now that I've done that, I might bring this little flower in just like that, right over top the leaves. I had so much fun just stamping and die cutting out all these pieces, and then just to kind of sit and create with them is a lot of fun. It's just such a fun set. Now this flower here, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little tuck of this flower like that. It really is great when you're working with florals to have that one that's kind of the main one popped up and just work everything else around it. I didn't want that focal point right in the center. I wanted it kind of off to the side. And then this is a nice kind of not real indented, so that tucks right in there perfectly. When you use liquid glue, you have some time. That's what's really nice about that. So I'm going to go ahead and put another flower. Notice I'm not putting adhesive all the way on the flowers. Have you given me a like yet? Have you subscribed yet? Do it, because I am wanting to get to 1,000 subscribers, you guys, because then it's going to be a big, huge subscriber party. Can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Now I thought this guy is going to kind of go up in here because that is fun. Yep. You know, I like when I die cut a bunch of things out, I like to use them. Now I can't use everything, and that's okay. You know, when you know you're going to be creating with something that has a lot of dies, go ahead and just die cut out a lot of them, you know. Well, that's looking great. I do have another greenery though. Let's see, do I want that to go in here, or is that just too much? Oh no, I think that's fun. All right. A little different than I had kind of got going, but that's okay. I like it. So that's just going to slip right up under there. You just want to make sure you don't have any of the edges showing, right? Okay, now from there, I've got my little, and I don't know that these are going to be necessary. They're great for, I don't know, I kind of like them for some texture, so I think I will. This one I actually had done before I started using my adhesive sheets. If you do not have Stampin' Up! Adhesive sheets, you will want them for any of your delicate dies. The delicate dies really, really need them because you just get glue all over the place otherwise. So now what you do is I put my adhesive sheet down on the cardstock, and it went face down. And when you pull things off the adhesive sheet, all those little pieces inside come off. So I'll have those kind of flanking that flower there. Look how fun that's becoming. That is so much fun. And those white polka dots now on the fresh freesia is so great. So let's take another one of these. So see how all the little pieces are still inside of that? Let me go ahead, and when I peel it apart, you have to take a little strong piece to be able to separate them from the cardstock. And if it gives you trouble, just grab your take your pick tool. And now when I peel it apart, look at all those little dealies stayed on the adhesive part. Yay! And now I have a clean little leaf here. I love it. And I want to tuck this one right up under here. So using liquid glue, I should be able to just pull that right up, stick that right in, and there I go. I got it. Perfect. Now that's an odd number there, 3 of those, and then I have 2 of those, which is great. You always should kind of stamp in odd numbers. So now I'm going to go ahead and see about adding this piece that's done in the shimmer. And see, I've got that adhesive sheet part now, and when I pull it apart, oh, when I pulled it apart, my little things didn't come out. You know why? Because it's the soft shimmer paper. And that soft shimmer paper is a little thicker. It also is a little bit more with all of the glitter kind of in it. Now, I want this to come up under in here, just like so. That is so fun. Now, but I feel like I need a little bit more of it to balance. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just tear part of it. Yes, I did. I tore part of it. And then I'm going to grab my take your pick tool, pop out some of these guys. Now remember, all the little insides have adhesive on them. And so sometimes they don't like to go easily, but I do notice that on the glitter papers or the shimmer papers, they don't tend to pop out when you pull the adhesive off the back. So you have to take a little bit of time, but boy, the soft shimmer is so nice. So take a little time. We'll get those out. My card is coming together so well. If you haven't checked out the specialty papers, you can go online to stampinup.com, shop now, shop papers, and do specialty papers. And it'll take you to all of these wonderful ones that I shared with you today. And you can check out my link for my September to December 2023 Designer Series Paper Share. One of the things I want you to know is that there's lots of demonstrators who will do paper shares, but what I do notice with some of them is you're not getting a whole quarter sheet, so you're not getting 2 6x6 of each design. You're just getting one piece of the 6x6 of each of the designs. And my way of thinking is you need 2 because you'll use one to play with and you'll go, okay, I've got my idea now. And then you'll go to make your project and you won't have any more of that beautiful designer series paper. So yeah, that just doesn't work for me. All right, so look at that beautiful building of all of that. Now I need a sentiment. And so I happen to have just this package of scrap white cardstock. And so I'm just going to pull out a couple and bring in my Darling Details stamp set. And I can have hello there, happy birthday, friend, thank you, or just a note. So let's take a look. And they are a little larger than on the front of the stamp set. And the other piece I want you to know, there's our 2-step stamping. So here, the outline one I did with the Berry Burst darker color and then Fresh Freesia lighter. You can also just use one color cardstock. You can stamp that full strength and then that stamp off and then onto your cardstock. Same with those, are all 2-step stamping. So I am going to do just a note, thanks. Ooh, I think I'm going to do thanks. Or friend? No. Thank you. Nope, just a note. I think just a note's going to fit perfectly. Sorry for my reach. Just a note. And I am going to do that in, I think Berry Burst, it'll get lost. So you know what? We'll do it twice. I'm going to do Berry Burst first with my Just a Note. Okay, and see how that goes there, because that's going to lay right on top. I think that stands out just fine. I don't think I'm going to use the memento, but you know, you never know, so let's try it. I'll just flip it over. Nope, doesn't need it. Nope, nope, nope. All right. So that is my Just a Note in Berry Burst. I also have this extra flower right here, but I don't think I'm using it. And I've got those fun die cut ones that I did there. Okay, so this could use just a little trim. You can grab your Stampin' Up! Trimmer. I'm going to be brave. Maybe shouldn't have been brave. And I'm just going to do across just like that. I'm going to be brave and do across just like this. Little angle just like that. You can do a quick little sentiment, so easy. Give it a little life and a little interest by just tagging, diagonaling off one of the, okay, and that's going to get dimensioned. that's an interesting thing. My backing came right off. There we go. From the thing there. It is an exciting time. Let's see, where do I want this? Right there, over here. Just thinking here. I actually think I like it kind of down here. Just a note, that is so cute. And then of course we need some of our little gems. So I'm just going to grab the Milky Dots here that I used on a couple of the other cards that I shared with you. And I'm going to use just these soft ones here. One there. I'll bring another one over here. And then one up just in here. Just like so. That's fun. Just adds another little element. And then we, of course, have our Wink of Stella, because you can't go anywhere without your Wink of Stella. So I'm going to come in with my Wink of Stella. Get some of that going here. It kind of deepens up the Berry Burst ink a little bit where you put it. But it also just gives some razzle dazzle. The other thing, we do have water-based ink. So you have to be careful not to be on an area too long. Oh, that's so fun. Ah, so fun. Okay, inside. Now the inside of the card, I did say just a note, but we have this beautiful, beautiful Berry Burst flower here. And I've got one I did with adhesive sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and find where I can pull the adhesive sheet off. There we go. Nope. There we go. Now when I pull that, hopefully lots of those things will come out with it. Haha. They did. They did. They did. Just a couple little ones that need to still come out. There we go. Look how pretty that is. And with the bright Berry Burst color, it's so nice. So go ahead and put that die cut piece right in there. And so then when they open up the card, can make it great. That would have been so pretty in the shimmer, the soft shimmer, wouldn't it? Oh, but I have that fun soft shimmer here that's already adhered because I used adhesive sheet on the back of that. So let me clean up a little bit here, just these things aside. And then I still have another one of these to use. I have a flower to use on another project. Yay. Well, what a fun Stampin' Saturday. I hope you give me a like. I hope you've subscribed, but let's take a look at all of our things that I shared today using the white centered paper to create just such beautiful textures. I just love the angel one. That Night of Navy is so striking. Give me a comment below. Tell me which project you like the most. And those of you who comment, I'm going to choose a winner to send one of my cards to. So be sure to leave a comment, share, like, and subscribe, guys. Let's get to 1,000. Check out my links for my September to December 2023 mini catalog paper share. And also a link for all of these products, the online store, as well as my classes and events. Don't miss out. Until next time, happy stampin'.